The game plan here is we'll look at the foam unit again and hopefully be more coherent this time, and Nos and I won't be lost. And we can give a good answer as to how the thing works. So this piece is just how to operate it and how it works as you operate it. Okay. So you want to operate your foam unit, and in this case we're talking the Darley Fast Foam 150. So the Darley Fast Foam 150 is what's on our new engines at the moment, until the next contract runs through and maybe they'll have something different. But Darley had the 250 and they actually kind of custom built these for our engines to some degree. And it's kind of a cool design, and it's a little different though. So that's why we're looking at it, because it's different and it does different things than what we're used to from our previous ones. So, I should have thought about it before I started, but I didn't, so here we go. What are the things we need to do to make this thing work? First and foremost, I need to make sure that the valves are open. I can find that valve in the... That it? No. Okay, this valve here is your return valve. That one in the back goes into the tank. That's your return to tank valve. You guys see that?
Yeah.
That one back in there. Okay. This one here, little quarter turn. That is your supply valve.
The red one?
The red one. So, for you to pump foam, both of those need to be open. Okay. I'll explain why we have a return to tank in a moment. Don't like how the steps work. On these guys, let's see if we can see in there. So the first one is your supply. They call it your suction relay in the book. And there's two options. You can be on flush, which means you're bringing, clean water in from outside, or you can be on, they call it foam inject, which is weird because it's on the supply side. It's a suction piece and it's not really injecting, but if you want to inject foam, you have to be on foam inject. So that's the term that they use, and it's this guy down here at the bottom. All right, and then there's another valve, another three-way on the top, and your options there are foam flush, and you use foam flush when, over like that, when you are either flushing or when you are priming. Okay, and all that does is discharge whatever goes through the pump to atmosphere, sprays it on the ground at the bottom. And then tank return is where you need to be to inject foam into your system, which is a little, you can actually inject foam on foam flush too, but all of the extra foam will go to the ground instead of back into your tank. Why would you have extra foam? Well, this system works a little differently. So, you fire up your motor and it makes pressure, right? You fire up your pump, you're spinning it, and it's got pressure. And there is a sensor, which is this guy right here. This sensor runs all the way back to, there's gonna be a hose in the way. This valve on top of your foam unit. That valve's called a pilot controlled automatic pressure relief assembly, I think. Something really similar to that. Or pilot valve for short, because that's too many damn words, I'm gonna screw them up. Okay, that comes all the way into the bottom of that. And what that valve does is when you are pumping foam concentrate with the foam pump, that pilot controlled valve makes sure that the foam concentrate that the foam pump is pumping is at the exact same pressure as the water pressure in the system, in the manifold. Okay, so all the extra foam and all the extra pressure is bled off back into the tank. That's why you have a tank return. Okay, so it brings foam concentrate at the exact same pressure as the water pressure up to the venturi right here, Okay? And then if you're not moving water, everything's static. It's all the same pressure. So no concentrate's moving, no water's moving, nothing. As soon as you start flowing water, the venturi creates a low pressure piece there and it draws that foam concentrate in. And that's how your system works. So, that is different than our previous systems that we usually have had over the past, say, 10 years or so. I actually don't know how the Aqueous works. I haven't really paid that close of attention. I just assumed it worked exactly the same as other ones that we've had, but nonetheless, we'll look into that later. That's how this one works. That's how the Fast Foam works. That's what we currently have. I'm not saying everybody has it, but that's what our whole load of engines currently came with. So that creates some interesting scenarios and issues that we've run into recently, but those problems were because we didn't know how the system worked. Now that we know how the system works, I can explain most of them away. So I need my 2 valves back there open. I need my supply or suction valve up to the, or set to the foam inject. I need this return valve on tank return, and you can leave it like that all the time. Unless you need to flush it, or for some reason you ran out and you need to reprime it, you never have to change it. It should just sit like that all the time. Winterizing is a whole different animal. It's actually quite easy, but you would, again, need to make some adjustments. We'll get to that when we need to winterize stuff. So your controller here can then control everything. Okay, that's what I thought.